exist?
I mean, have you ever
Hello,
wondered
stream
what
intro.
happened to all of
Yes.
those?
Don't worry about what we were talking about before. What was I gonna say for a stream intro? Oh yeah, everyone got your snacks? Everyone got a drink? No?
Can you give me a snack?
Yes?
I have
no.
I have a slowly depleting glass of almond milk.
Almond milk. My god.
Almond milk.
Anyway, so today's episodes are worst case scenario, which is really good. It's one of my favorite episodes of Voyager. And then Scorpion parts 1 and 2, but we don't meet 7 until part 2. Which is the third episode today. So, it's gonna be a minute.
But more importantly,
what happens
how do
worst
they
case
milk the
scenario
almonds?
Carefully. Very carefully. So how about that weather?
It's not too bad. And Ryan, you can't change the topic and make us try and make us forget the fact that you've eaten like all the all the commenters who don't show up to the streams as much. Yeah, no, that's not because they don't.
Yeah, we
like
haven't seen Herr Deutschland in a while, because
yeah, it's because you've eaten him.
he is now part of me. We are one.
Yeah, he's been assimilated into the Ryan Collective.
Oh man, I'm just eating Gardetto's family-size original recipe snack mix. Pretty good.
Are you sure?
I mean, there's like regular Chex Mix, but regular Chex Mix isn't as good.
They don't
They don't what?
sell Chex Mix at my store in my country. So
Well,
sad.
then get Gardetto's family-size original recipe snack mix.
They don't sell that either.
What country doesn't sell any kind of snack mix?
They sell other things that are kind of like that, but not really.
But what country? Where are you?
I don't know. You want to guess?
I'm gonna say Liechtenstein.
Azerbaijan.
Liechtenstein is almost correct if you were trying to guess my name, not my country.
Okay. New Zealand.
Guinea-Bissau.
You're not really. You're not close.
Old Zealand.
Now you're just moving in the fourth dimension.
Afghanistan.
New England.
I think that's actually a lot closer.
Mesopotamia. Czechia.
What
I
was
have no idea
the
where that is,
what
actually.
were the names of the people America was fighting in First Contact? Were they like the techies?
Oh god, they were the Econs?
The
right?
Econs. Yeah.
Econs, yeah.
You're from there.
Though were those just other Americans because the government
know what that is.
destroyed and what's
No, I think the idea was that they were going to be like some conglomeration maybe of like Russia and China and their allies, but they didn't want to, the writers didn't want to explicitly use the names of real countries because they didn't want to like demonize them.
Oh, okay. Also, 1 minute to start. I hope
Right,
everyone's
I'll give
queued
you
up to
a
Season
hint.
3, Episode 25, Worst Case Scenario. Worst Case Scenario. Worst Case Scenario.
Hints. I'm almost equally close to Europe, Asia, and Africa.
Russia.
No.
Jordan.
Oh, very close.
South Africa.
I feel like maybe like Argentina is sort of equidistant to Asia, Europe, and Africa.
It's literally impossible to be equidistant from those, because you're going to be in one of them.
I said almost equidistant. I didn't say equidistant.
Well, you can be
Okay,
equidistant to
Turkey,
them if you're on like the on your like.
Yeah, you
on
guys are
the
circling
opposite side of
around
the
it, but
planet.
you're not
Israel.
hitting the mark.
Oh, wait,
Israel,
press play,
there
go.
you go.
Sorry, I missed a countdown. I hope everyone was watching the timer.
We're pressing play.
Star Trek time.
Dang is really distracting you.
So they don't have snack mix in Israel? What's even the point then?
Yeah, they probably have it in some like special American food store or something, but they don't have that store anywhere near me.
No, now if you
But-
look in the voice chat, you'll see that once it
What?
uploads, you'll see that you clearly live in Point Nemo, which is equidistant from uh, Europe, Asia, and Africa. It's just the farther kind of equidistant.
Okay.
Makes plenty of sense.
So we all know what's going on here, right? Everyone's aware of the premise of the episode?
No, I don't actually.
What do you mean? Okay.
Oh,
Then
wait.
you're going to be
it's
real
this
surprised in a
episode.
minute.
Oh yeah, this one. I remember this one.
Yeah. So in this version of the program, did Tuvok incorporate Balana's season 1 crush on Chakotay? Is that a yes?
Do you think Tuvok follows around members of the Voyager crew like Batman, compiling like all of their weaknesses and how to defeat them in case they get mind controlled or something?
When Tuvok does it, it's cool, but when Seven does it, Balana punches her. Or he's about to, anyway. There's no need to stalk people, though, because the computer is constantly reading your thoughts.
The ways
Just get
to
the information.
murder Neelix are like 10, like that's 10, that's like 90% of the document is just ways to murder Neelix.
101 ways to get away with murder against a hobbit.
And then it's like
Speaking of hobbits, the new Lord of the Rings show is pretty good.
like
haven't
Tom
tried it.
Paris blow him up with like a bomb or something. I don't know. That shouldn't be too hard.
If you want to take out anyone in Voyager, you just have to put them on a shuttle. It's going to crash.
Nobody ever dies in the main crew from shuttle crashes. No, in fact, I don't think anyone ever dies in any shuttle crash.
Is there anyone who dies in a shuttle
I guess
crash
it's
in
a
the
good way
entire
to
franchise?
inconvenience
There was
them.
Samantha
maybe
Wildman
Okaka.
almost dies, but
That
she gets
doesn't really
better.
count. Like,
A goal, but
Does anybody ever die in a shuttle crash in Star Trek?
I think some random red shirts once or twice.
I don't
Probably.
think
So
so.
they die after the crash typically, right? Because some monster gets them or whatever.
Yeah. Remember in the TOS episode with like I think the Mugado or something. The transporter stopped working and someone's stuck. I think it's Sulu stuck on some planet and he's like freezing to death and they can't get him off the shuttle because they haven't built the model for the shuttle yet.
That doesn't make sense. This is season 3, Tuvok. He's been doing this for years. I wonder why he would say something like that.
There's a good degree of psychological horror here, but that's not necessarily because, um, you know, they're in this weird uncanny asynchronous time, but it's more like, oh no, I'm thinking about season 1 of Voyager.
So, here Tuvok just gave fake Harry a verbal slapdown. Do you guys remember, and I think it was season 1, where Tuvok and Harry were like verbally sparring? Harry was like making fun of him. Was like, "Oh, why don't you do your job properly?" I don't. Look, this was a long time ago. Something happened in season 1 where Tuvok called him out on something. Then Harry smacked him back. And then Tuvok immediately went into his program and started screwing with Harry in it. Oh, there you go. Wow, that was a really fast shot. I feel like we could have slowed down that shot of Tuvok a little bit.
Wait, didn't Chakotay... I thought this was the real Chakotay. Because he was really confused. He's like, wait, how come I haven't done this for a while? I've been first officer for years.
Wait, you thought... But Chakotay here was in the elevator talking about how he wanted to start a mutiny.
I thought it was like a different part of the holodeck, and like all of the Maquis crew members were like trapped in separate segments of it.
Nope. I don't know what you're thinking of, but not this.
Oh, okay.
The only real person here is B'Elanna. I mean, what are you talking about? It's just a real mutiny. What?
So,
People are just shooting each other.
and we're watching, and then we're just deciding to watch this one episode completely out of order.
This was actually the finale of
What?
Voyager.
Finale of Voyager, where they kill
Chakotay gets
half
them home
the
immediately.
characters.
Chakotay finds a wormhole and he's like, no, screw the Prime Directive, we're going.
Yeah.
Ew, Seska.
Where do you
We're
think
never free of
Tuvok,
Seska.
or where do you think Neelix's loyalties lie during this mutiny? Oh,
Well, we're about to find out.
I should really do more often.
There we go.
Use gun
Good
on
job,
men.
Neelix. So, yeah, Tuvok views Neelix as having zero loyalty to the captain. Which is completely at odds with Ethan Phillips playing him like he's in love with Janeway. That doesn't make sense.
Captain Janeway gave Neelix bottled water.
And the bath. His
And,
first
yeah, they
bath
let him
ever.
take a bath.
And God, he needed it.
Do you think he took subsequent baths? Or do you think this whole show he's just been stonky?
I think he probably stinks no matter how many baths he takes. He looks like he gives off... He looks like he has glands.
Like you're trying to eat in the mess hall and you're trying to enjoy your food, which it's good food, but like...
Cass? Oh, another hint this is fake. Cass, in the last episode, she got a new haircut, and here she's back to her old short hair. She got extensions last episode, and she doesn't have them in. So how many people are in the break here? There's like 10 people getting this speech. Like 10 people on the Maquis side. Senior officers are in the brig, that's like 8. So there's
Yeah,
90 crew somewhere else hanging out? Where's everyone else?
maybe there's 90 Maquis sympathizers.
How much of this is Tuvok writing what he thinks Chakotay would say versus what Tuvok actually thinks of
Is this
Janeway's decisions?
author filibuster, in other words? Yeah.
These are generally pretty decent points that Chakotay's making.
They're almost logical. Okay, yeah, big reveal. A lunch date. I like how everybody in Star Trek, they love their video games. Even Captain Picard is obsessed with his video games.
Yeah.
God, I wonder if Picard ever played L.A. Noire. He would love it.
L.A. Noire, mid-sized car.
Hey. Oh, they're fuzzy around the edges, so the green screen is about to dissolve away. Give it like 15 seconds. Come on, give us the wide shot again. Is that not going to happen? Am I going crazy? They were definitely fuzzy around the... I guess they were just fuzzy because they didn't want the actors to have to just stand there stock still. They just put in a
Wait,
JPEG.
I think. No, maybe.
Okay, yep, it's just a JPEG. That's fine.
Good. Ah, the yellow is weird.
Yeah. Also, is he an ensign?
I mean,
Oh yeah, Tuvok. He's so annoying. He never shuts up. I also love how
Jesus,
Tuvok
Tom, you
decided to
can't
make
just...
the opening of this conversation be about people complaining about him.
Tom, you can't just outright say the word mute. You have to be subtle about it. Come on, man. Zero loyalty from Tom. It's just the worst.
Why are they going to betray Tom in the first place? Like, he was originally a member of the Maquis, and I mean, I guess he was in prison and agreed to sort of hunt him down as a part of a plea deal, but that's not really too bad.
I mean, if this worked and they all got back to Earth, I assume they would all be sent to beautiful New Zealand for this.
No, they just hang out in the Badlands and then get murdered by the Dominion.
They're just gonna take an Intrepid class starship and Voyager and Starfleet's gonna be like, yep, no, that's theirs now.
So who do you think would win, the Deep Space Nine crew versus Captain Chakotay and the stolen Voyager?
yeah.
Well, like in the Defiant or on Deep Space Nine, because Deep Space Nine destroyed a whole Klingon fleet. So
I'm thinking like there's the Eddington episode. And Chakotay saying like, "I'm gonna go use some biological weapons. What are you gonna do about it?"
Yes, where Cisco employed the "know you" strategy.
Yeah.
Solid tactical maneuver.
And the only time we saw the 3D holographic communicators really in this era.
So, would you guys, given the fact that Janeway is clearly not willing to take like any risks to get the ship home, would you guys be willing to commit mutiny to take the short route, shave 60 years off?
Janeway went out of her way to, you know, find additional risks to encounter. Like, I
True.
feel like roughly 80% of the times Voyagers almost destroy that. It's those situations would have been easily preventable by them just ignoring the impetus of whatever got them into that situation.
Just leave. Just go home.
Yeah, just leave. Just keep going. You're in a rush. You're
Not my
good.
problem. Roll
Don't
the
you want to
windows
get
up. Get
home
out of
before
here.
you all die?
Tuvok, surely you can just like tell the computer beam all Maquis crew members into space.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. You're watching some random redshirt ensign.
I like to imagine also that like everything someone says in the even if it's just like a whisper in the brig, there's microphones in there that sort of picks it up and plays it back on speaker for the guards.
I mean, that's how I kind of feel about some media. It's building up the atmosphere. It's working its way up to the action. It's like, come on, I got things to do. Speed it up.
Why is Neelix
I
even
don't need to
here?
watch my head get chopped off in Skyrim every single time I play. Just give me the prisoner save.
Is Neelix here to? Is he part of their intimidation tactic? They're like,
Neelix? For
yeah,
intimidation?
like he's there with them, Like why did they bring Neelix to this briefing?
Neelix is there just to. God, why is he there? What does he do? He's not intimidating. He's not even slightly
It's
intimidating.
like, you guys better get in line or else I'll sick Neelix on you.
Maybe he's there as Chakotay's official punching bag. If the Maquis need to take out stress, Neelix. Oh, Jesus. Wait, I think Lieutenant Ayala's in the Holo program. I think he was a character on
Well, so is
Chakotay's side.
Paris. At least his voice.
I mean, hypothetically, they should all be, but I think specifically Ayala was
Right.
in the cargo bay threatening people with a gun.
So those uniforms are, I guess, part of the Maquis dress code. I thought they were like,
Yeah, just what
made out
people
of like
had.
homespun flax and garbage because they, were like scrappy rebels. But like, if they
No, that's
specifically replicated these to reintroduce them, like,
Tom. And Tom. I don't know if we're ready. Well, we already have 2 Toms. So I don't know if we're ready for 3 Toms. Was this written before the Romance Planet? With the bath and the monkey?
monkey.
Yes. No, just destroy them now, Chakotay. Just kill them.
Captain Janeway knows that if this fails, she'll have to spend the rest of her life with Tom Paris, a fate worse than death.
They could go hang out with their children. Go raise their kids.
They could. They got the shuttlecraft. They can
Yeah,
just
they can get
floor it
that.
again, turn back into the lizards.
Oh, now the computer tells someone. The computer never warns us of intruders. How come it does this time? Is that because the Maquis reprogrammed it to actually be good at its job?
There's like this one outspoken Maquis computer scientist.
I don't know what the point of Chakotay and Tom, fake Tom, telling them to step away from that panel, drop the weapon. Just, your guns have a stun setting, just stun them. Why are you talking to them?
What I would have done, yeah, I would have just put it on stun, and I would have, if I was real Tom here, I would have just shot fake Tom because, like, even if he shoots me and we're both incapacitated, there's still like 90 more mutineers on the ship.
Yeah, it's a good
So I'll
trade.
just, yeah, they'll just lock them up. Insurgency's over.
Like,
And
sure, you
I'll
give people a
wake
warning
up.
if you have, like, a Glock, because, there's only one way a Glock
Yeah,
goes.
get a couple days of sick leave.
I want to edit Tom Paris into a scene on, like, Firefly, where the show ends. He's like, what, that's it?
Oh.
Alright, everyone watch Tuvok's reactions, see if he gives it away. No, pretty stoic. I'm just kind of for the first time looking at their chairs. They're very odd. Tall back desk chairs with a separate headrest jutting out the side. Except that Tuvok's headrest is jutting into his back. Doesn't look ideal.
Well, if there was, they could have made a movie about it and called it Star Trek Insurrection.
Wow, that's such a good idea. That's a good
I
title.
mean, someone should do that. Insurrection is such a good subtitle, too. I'm sure no one's ever used it before.
Star Trek Insurrection was my introduction to Star Trek. That was the first thing I ever saw.
Did you see it in the theater?
Nope, I saw random clips of it on TV occasionally, and it really bothered me that I didn't know what was happening or how it started or how it ended. So I watched all of Star Trek to find it. 'Cause I didn't know what it was
Because Star
called.
Trek Insurrection looks so good.
Yeah. I saw Data walk into a lake. That was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, no. Tom, write your own novel. What? So we have a few holo novel episodes. We have this one of the Mutiny written by Tuvok. We have the Doctor
Photons be
saying, saying his coworkers are monsters.
That's a
And
good
we
one.
have Tom Paris's Irish People Are Funny episode. And Tom Paris's French Bar. Which,
and the Delete the Wife. But I don't know if that one counts.
well, that's Irish People Are Funny.
Okay.
I don't know if I want Tom writing this. I feel like he's going to ruin the back half. It's going to be a wildly
yeah,
different
for sure.
style. Oh yeah, Tuvok's Murder Simulator. Does that count as a holo novel? 101 Ways to Murder Neelix? Wow. Tuvok has a murder novel. Data has a murder program. Who's DS9's smart character? Was it Dax? Dax.
Yeah, Dax.
Dax. Yeah.
Dax has a few murder programs. Enterprise doesn't count. TOS doesn't count because they don't have holodecks. Kinda.
The original Enterprise just had a really good community theater program.
No, they didn't. They had a 20-inch plasma TV. That was it.
They have they have a little band with Spock and his Vulcan harp thing.
God. Wasn't it a lyre? What's the difference between a lyre and a harp? What's a lyre again? Hang on. Yeah, what's the difference between a lyre and a harp?
Well, one of them doesn't tell the truth, and the other one is
Always
a
tells
string instrument. Yeah.
Okay. How is ship secure? What? Okay. Now we can start the real part of the episode, which is the
I
murder.
mean, I kind of I wanted to see where this goes.
The doctor's suggestions?
Yeah, I wanted to see like there's three or four dueling versions of this program, and
They can have a writer's day. Everyone makes their own version of an ending. Then everyone plays each other's, and they vote on what's the best. Insurrection?
Star Trek Insurrection.
What's wrong with
Insurrection
Insurrection?
Alpha is an amazing title.
Come on, Tom, you don't know anything about Star Trek. Oh, fuzzy. There we go. Fuzzy edges. You always have to look out for the edge of people's heads getting all weird. See, the background's not going to change now because Tom's nice and crisp. Now, okay, this was really stupid on Seska's part, right? Because when she was doing this, she was still pretending to be a Maquis, and this would give the whole game away.
That's a good point.
What if he just wrote what? Seska, what's your plan here? You can't just murder people.
This doesn't seem like a very good usage of your time, too. Like, if you're a spy, time's a scarce resource you don't have a lot of.
Also, if she wants to murder Tuvok, why doesn't she just, like, murder him? Why? Just shoot him. Poison him? Do literally anything other than this, Seska. This is just crazy.
I'm saying, once again, they need to have, in case of murders, hologram, break glass, and then there's just, a chainsaw you can use to, cut through the
On the
power
hologram?
cables or, saw through
Okay.
the doors.
You can't cut through the cables because they're an entirely autonomous system deep within the hollow matrix.
You have maybe, a specialized team of holodeck disassemblers go at it with screwdrivers.
Yeah, we can tell this Janeway plan isn't gonna work. Cause she's toting a gun, but she's not in her sleeveless tee.
I mean, she's not wearing the adventure jacket.
Yeah. This doesn't count. If she's in a uniform, it doesn't work.
She's not been pushed to the edge yet.
Yeah. Yep, doesn't work. You should have taken off the jacket, Janeway. It would have worked. God, Tuvok. Tuvok,
It's
come
oh
on.
yeah, well, man, I might as well throw in some slash fiction between me and my
Jesus.
baby
She was-
daddy who I abused.
You sure about that, Tom? Is it real now, Tom?
They shoot him.
Seska, just kill them. Why are we toying with? Just kill them.
Yeah. The eternal question.
This is why the villains always lose. They can't just. They always toy with their prey. Nitric acid. So, have you guys handled nitric acid?
Yeah, it's not something you would. I don't think you would survive.
We don't like handle it with your hands.
Yeah.
There's a test tube. Now, I remember in my college chemistry lab, we worked with nitric acid quite a bit. And nitric acid, in my opinion, is the best smelling acid. It smells delicious. Now, I never drank it, because, acid, but it smells really good.
Does anyone know what citric acid on its own smells like?
Citric acid? I assume like oranges. But no, I don't know.
That might smell pretty nice.
What does citric acid smell like? Citric acid crystals are almost odorless with a sharp lemon fruity sour taste. Okay. It's odorless, more or less. But Google also says nitric acid is a colorless, fuming liquid with an acrid, suffocating odor. It's not acrid or suffocating, it smells delicious.
Actually, are we talking citric acid or nitric acid?
Nitric. Nitric is delicious.
Yeah. I have this fact sheet from the New Jersey Department of Health saying that odor thresholds vary greatly, and you should not rely on odor alone to determine potentially hazardous exposures.
Well, I mean, no, you should not, but should you use odor to determine whether you should drink it? Wow, slow-moving fire CGI. Are you gonna... Oh. I was gonna say, are you gonna shoot the fire? But yes, also that's not how fire works at all. What's on fire here?
What's on fire is Hollow Chakotay's heart, and it's burning with passion for Seska's ghost.
No, they haven't. That was very gut-feely emotional for a Vulcan.
Was it? Is he out of control?
No, but he was way less pessimistic.
I suspect anytime Tuvok is trying to be optimistic and lift people's spirits, it just is so that they stop being worthless and actually do some work.
I could see that as a Vulcan
That would be
security
logical.
officer.
Hey, this is like the Matrix.
Yes, improving morale is a logical path.
Mm-hmm.
And if I must tell a few jokes to make that happen, then so be it.
He could also have eaten the sundaes. Yes, thank you, Tuvok.
We were having casual Friday.
Casual Friday is the only logical way to prevent a mutiny.
And I must point out that your tie is inappropriate at such a casual occasion.
What do you mean? It's completely fine. It appears to depict a nude woman.
Casual Fridays have proven to be more volatile than I expected to Today
I
I'm
received.
instituting Tuvok Tuesdays.
We've received
you
24
must
HR
suppress all
complaints as
emotion.
of 3 hours ago. Oh, I understand this is a costuming department, but if Seska rewrote it, why would she have herself look like a Bajoran?
Oh yeah.
Because she wrote
Good-
this at a
good
point
call.
where she was still pretending to be a Bajoran, so she didn't want to give herself away, except she's totally
Yeah, but-
giving herself away by murdering them.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, like, she said, "Hey, listen, dumb shits."
She could have been like, yes, it's me,
Yeah.
Commander Chakotay. I've rewritten this program.
Yes.
Yes. You see, I was planning
I was
to
a
mutiny all
Romulan the whole
along.
time.
I was a Gorn the whole time.
I have a third arm that comes out of my butt.
Are Obsidian
Oh,
Order agents that good with computers?
Well,
Or,
Garrick
they,
is.
or hear me out. Or is, or is Torvids just that incompetent?
Why didn't she
I
just use
love
gun
the
on man?
episode ends and they're like Seska never made these alterations. The doctor did. And then they like go and question him, and he's like, "I told you should have let me write the ending."
Oh, that would have been a really great tie-in for Author years later.
So, okay, in the context of this, they're clearly not going to keep the Maquis crew members on board because they committed a mutiny. So that means Voyager's going to try to get home with like 40 people. They're less than half-staffed.
Ryan,
Yep.
in a really messed up way, they won't be half-staffed in 10 years.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, in a really messed up way, if you encourage pairing and then
You just have to
and then
demand that
have
everybody has at least 2 children, surely.
yeah, and then have those kids work on the engine since the age of 10, and boom, you get home. Has Hackett been in anything else besides Voyager?
Cool.
Do it, Tom.
Tim Russ has had an illustrious career after Voyager. He was the voice of several anti-piracy commercials.
Really?
And yeah, and it was either anti-piracy or anti-drug. And he also I'm sorry, no, he was also a supporting character in several either Nickelodeon or Disney Junior sitcoms.
This says, they always develop a solution just after.
I love how Kim just sat down in these chairs like, see, why am I even here?
Because he has a contract. Nope. Don't have them collaborate. It's going to be a disaster. No, we don't want your ideas either, Tuva. Wait, what's your name? Neelix. That, I think, is an interesting phrasing there. Close to home, he's referring to Voyager as home. Not Vulcan, not Earth.
True. True. Although it is also just an expression.
Yeah.
Oh,
But every
it's
episode ends with something
Scorpion.
like set a course for home.
True.
Anyway, though.
Maybe
So
that's
that
just
was
what they say when they clock off for the day.
set a
Like
course
they're
for home.
like set a course for home, and then they punch out, and then they go to bed.
I should say
And
that
the
when
night
I
crew
leave work
takes
every
over.
day.
Then the night crew comes along.
Night crew.
Alright, 1 minute to Scorpion Part 1, which 7 of 9 is not in. She's not in this episode. She's in the next episode. This one's all
Right, I
about...
just want to say,
Yeah?
inviting us to have snacks ready is really not doing me any favors now, because now I really want to go make popcorn.
Just make popcorn, man.
I'll
Hang on.
miss.
Do you use microwave bags of popcorn, or do you do stovetop popcorn? Or do you have a popcorn maker?
I do have a popcorn maker, but I don't have any popcorn for it.
You don't have any kernels? Just the bags?
No, I just got a private Benedetto popcorn maker at a garage sale a few days ago for like 75 cents. I haven't had time to get bags for it yet.
Well, just go pop a bag in the microwave and come back.
Benedetto.
Benedetto.
I also press play in
Still only
four,
$5.
3, 2, 1, play. I remember the countdown this time.
It made it back just in time.
Oh, they updated their speech a little bit. Existence as you know it is over. I mean, Locutus did say a variant of that, but it's usually not in their monologue. So yeah, it's a good thing Cass propelled them. Wait, have we had the gift yet?
No, Gift is like 3 more episodes. It's in
Okay.
season 4.
I was going to say, it's a good thing Cass propelled them past Borg space. Apparently she did not.
Well, if the Borg truly stick to what they say their purpose is, the speech is probably slightly different every single time, because every single time they add another species, their distinctiveness adds to the speech.
Ah.
Well, maybe the Borg are just, they've gone through so many species. It's like the changes there just, really insubstantial at this point.
What would happen if like they assimilated 90% of Pakleds?
I
don't think
remember
they would
reading
bother.
a short story that was published in a non-canon Star Trek collection about a Pac-led ship that wanted to get assimilated by the Borg, and so they could be strong, and the Borg just like passing them up and ignoring them.
Yeah, the Borg just leave them on red.
Yeah.
Like the Kazon.
Yeah, actually.
Sorry, you're
Question with
breaking
the
up. We're
Borg.
going through a wormhole. I'll call you back.
Oh, we're going into transwarp.
Sorry, we're losing our signal. We're going through the transwarp conduit.
Are the Borg a melting pot or a cultural?
They're like the Federation.
They-
They'll just
That's
Gimli.
the question.
they'll just steamroll over any existing culture that they assimilate.
The Federation's
Gimli.
no worse than the Borg.
Is this the first Gimli episode? Gimli, son of Gloin?
I mean,
It is a Gimli episode.
But is it the first
I
one?
forget.
I don't think we've seen him yet.
Gimble, son of Groin. Or no, Gumball, son of Groin.
I forget who it is that makes the point in Deep Space Nine, but the Federation do like a better job of assimilating because they convince the people they're
That's Borg.
assimilating that it's them that want it.
Look at his glorious beard. It's bigger than Gimli's.
Get all the dwarves in Moria.
There's a lot of dwarves in Moria now. Turns out Khazad-dûm's pretty cool. What are you even trying to
So-
do, man?
Oh, I think he's creating the first robot here. But historically speaking, Da Vinci kept on being arrested for sodomy. So very much prefer my isolation. He was not.
He
What does that have
basically
to do
created
with
the
them
first
creating
org arm.
robots?
Oh,
Da Vinci kept getting arrested for like creating an army of battle droids and trying to conquer ancient Florence.
I don't know if B1 battle droids have like wooden dowels holding the gears.
but he did invent the first Beyblade.
Who
What?
did?
I'm making a joke with that meme about Moses parting the Red Sea with a Beyblade.
I don't think I know
Or
enough
just,
about Beyblade to get.
Surely there's no way you can beat him. He's a Renaissance master. Renaissance masters are our speciality.
Are they better than Bahar Masters?
Objectively, yes, because they're human.
Whoa, xenophobe.
Literally racist.
Okay, specious, because I don't like Klingons, but go on.
The Klingon race, the human race, it's racist. It's against Klingons.
You call yourself a Federation citizen and you're not an extreme xenophile?
Oh, I would prefer to
Excuse
die
me,
than be a placid cow living on Terra.
we use the term fanatic xenophile.
Oh yeah, that makes it sound so much better.
Oh my god. Janeway just said the word 7. That's
It's
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing.
No, it's not.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, 7 shadowing, thank you.
I just made that one on accident. I didn't even try to go for the pun there.
It's already a pun because 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I do agree though, humans are the superior species.
Mm-hmm.
What is this camera angle? How did they get this footage?
They got it from a probe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
I
Probe
guess
POV.
Voyager sends out probes now for the first time.
How many do they have?
Remember they had that one
How
other
many?
one that they sent into the wormhole that made the signal to the 20 years
Didn't
ago?
they say they only had like 12 probes?
Yes.
A space corridor.
Yeah, you should never go through something called the Northwest Passage.
Yeah, you should never name anything the Northwest Passage.
What happens in the Northwest
They
Passage?
should have named it something like the Safety
yeah.
Stream. Or
Yeah, you lose 2 ships called the Erebus and Terror, and then you start eating each other.
yeah.
Is this Warhammer lore or is this real?
IRL.
Yeah, no way. Not gonna happen, Doc.
No.
Can you vaccinate your people against nanoprobes?
He's
Yeah, it's
trying.
called battery acid.
Yeah, and use
It's
the
called
nitric
a
acid
gun.
from last episode.
Yeah, 20 cc's of nitric acid.
Get some every time.
Maybe the Borg are just so angry because they're always itchy. The doctor should just give them an analgesic cream.
Or hear me out. The Federation has a habit of trespassing into space, and they say, "Oh, we're explorers."
Yeah.
But when I say
We're
that, the cops still
explorers.
arrest me.
We're exploring your you know, the
I was
depths of your
exploring your
territory?
house. What's
No.
the problem?
yeah, I was exploring the inside of your nuclear weapons facility. For science.
Yeah, just observing, you know.
We think there's
You know.
something very interesting about this folding chair. We'd like to bring it back to the ship for analysis.
We were getting all that heroic preparing music like they're going to put up a good fight. No, if they come up against a cube, they're screwed. They're just dead immediately.
Yeah.
But we have plot device. Inside the
That's
body.
generally how medicine works. Yes, doctor.
You know,
What you do is to defeat the Borg is you get a dummy starship full of like mannequins, like rubber mannequins that are like I guess I'm describing like blow up dolls that are filled with like nitroglycerin. And
Oh,
then like when the
nitric
Borg
acid.
try to like stick the two wheels in them, they just pop and explode.
actually, hold on. What was that weird chemical in the warp core for Star Trek First Contact?
The
Oh,
coolant
yeah.
tank?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You can literally just create water balloons of that because it only destroys organic matter.
Yeah.
You know what else destroys organic matter? A gun.
Yeah, but
Use gun on Borg.
even the Queen couldn't assimilate to adapt to whatever that chemical was. So if you literally just had a bunch of water balloons.
I remember talking about Star Trek First Contact with some friends when I was 12, and they were like, "Yeah, what you got to do is They keep adapting, so when you fight the Borg, you got to get like a stick of dynamite and a broadsword."
Actually, low tech might not work because they keep on running into weird alien species.
Worf's mechleth
So
worked
you,
great.
and you,
Just
you got to
stab
get
him.
a uniquely bizarre human weapon.
Okay, we're gonna get the Yukla that was used by the Zulus to stab people.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yukla sounds like a lot like a Klingon dagger. A Yukla.
Here we got the Nerf N Strike 7.
It's a short spear.
Yep, Voyager screwed. Bye, Voyager.
This just fades to static.
Oh,
Yeah,
stars.
Starfleet's only ever fought
And/or
one
bug
cube
ships.
at a time.
And they got
Yeah, and
handed
that one
to them.
cube like blew up half of Starfleet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised the Borg are even stopping, given what we're about to find out's going on.
Yeah.
Just go, get the
They're
heck out
probably
of
like, why
Dodge.
is there a Federation ship here? What?
Actually, hold on. That and also, what if they're infected?
They're like,
Infected?
what if the Borg are like, oh, it's a Starfleet ship. We already assimilated all the humans. We can skip this one.
Yeah, wouldn't like the Borg not be interested in assimilating any more humans due to the sheer amount of data they collected?
I don't know, it
The
depends.
Borg are big fans of the humans for some reason.
It's because
I
they
blame
keep
you.
evading the Borg, that's why. And they're like, eh.
Yeah, the humans are the most interesting species in the Alpha Quadrant.
And it's funny because they done that by being not special in any way, in any particular way. We just have +1 to all stats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I prefer my +2 or +1 to 2 stats in a feat.
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting it, Archer.
As a
Feet
fighter,
OP.
it's mechanically superior.
Polar mastery.
For me, it was a fighting initiative to weapon fighting.
The real strategy is to take feats, I don't remember which specific ones you need, but that let you dual wield polearms, and then you ride like a horse or a large boar or something, and you just have dual lances that deal a ton of extra charge damage every round.
So you would need to be a fighter with 2 weapon fighting, then you'll need dual wielding, and then mountain combated.
Is there a
And it's
perk in D&D you can get where there's like you're from like a race that's like so big and fast?
wait,
you
they
have
just
other
said the word
party
Jean-Luc
members
Picard. But is there a feat where what? But Jean-Luc Picard though.
Hold on, I
But
think she's
D&D.
quoting him.
See, that's racist, John.
Oh, that's Asimov.
Oh, it's Amasov.
Like Asimov?
They're more evil than the freaking embodiment of evil you guys found, his name was literally Skin of Evil. Like, hello?
His name was Armis. He had a name.
Yeah. He went out of his way to be evil. Like,
The Borg don't purposely do things to be evil, that's the thing. It's like basically
A natural disaster.
they seem to act like instinctual beings in that sense, so they just do stuff to achieve some basic goal, which is like get more Borg, and that's it.
I don't buy the most evil thing. Starfleet's run into some evil things. You know, there's the Skin of Evil. There was the
Cisco.
Ma Wraiths.
Don't forget the Cisco. I seen what he did with the Romulans.
They deserved it.
There was. Who are they? They were from TOS. They had like the long necks and the glowy eyes.
The Telosians?
No, not the Telosians. They are someone else. I think they were the ones that attacked Memory Alpha. I can't remember.
The Lights of Zatar?
I don't know. The point is,
The
there's a lot of
Gorn.
evil to go around. What?
The Gorn.
Yeah, the Gorn were pretty bad too.
That dog in a fur costume with a horn glued to its head. That was pure evil.
Hologram. I'm sorry. Transport Accident Kirk.
Spock with a goatee.
Well, I mean, he tried to fix the Empire and then got assassinated.
Yeah, they literally like went to the evil dimension where everyone's evil. The Borg are more evil than that.
Oh yeah, Rick Berman's
Around-
evil.
I'm just saying, like, when you go around trying to be like the like the epitome of good and benevolence, like you're gonna run into some pretty evil stuff. Remember Nagilum?
Oh.
He wasn't really evil. He was just kind of a jerk.
The unknown origin. What he just said. Gosh. Why is Paris on this ship?
He's there.
Well, someone
to
had to
ask
get
the
him out of
question
beautiful New
that-
Zealand.
Yeah, he's there to locate Commander Chakotay, and he does that every single day. Like as soon as
He's there
clocks
to
in.
be like, oh, so it's like this simple thing that people can understand instead of tachyon radiation.
Yeah.
As soon
Like
as
putting too much air in a
Pierce
balloon.
goes to work every morning, he like spins around in his chair and he points to Chakotay and he's like, "Captain,
found him,
found
Captain."
the Maquis."
Look, it's a mosquito.
I think a better
No,
analogy
Janeway,
would
just
be
leave.
elite. It's not like the Federation would ever use those.
There's nothing stopping the Federation from employing that geometric virus again, right? If like it doesn't, if they ever need to compromise their values, right?
No. They cured Odo and they, ended up dooming the Alpha Quadrant yet again.
No, the one for Hugh.
But
yeah,
to make that work, they first have to acquire a living Borg to put it in.
Oh, they've done that tons of times.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, that's hardly an issue.
Yeah, just like cut off their cell phone signal.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Like
put it
whenever
in
the
a
Borg
Faraday
came
cage.
aboard the Enterprise to like assimilate people, you just floor it out of there, and cover them in hot glue. That bam, Borg.
Faraday cage or just cut off the limbs. Boom.
Yeah. And then you just gotta sever their communication link with the collective, and then they'll just stumble around and try to assimilate like your fish sandwich.
Oh, is he trying to fix the ship? Who's trying their best?
Like every disappointment in a family.
So I wonder. I assume we're about to see that weird pile of Borg corpses. That why would 8472 make that? But
Modern art.
Corpses.
yeah, what's the why?
It's a really good modern art piece.
It's like something out of StarCraft. And the Zerg game.
Maybe
Well, we're all gonna die, Harry, eventually.
maybe this is just how the Borg like deal with their dead. They just like trash compactor them.
That head,
But also, Cass. But
that
also,
head
like,
prop
Cass
looks
is.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all gonna die, but Cass is the Usain Bolt of dying.
That's
Why? Because she only lives for like 7
savage.
years.
If anyone here is the Usain Bolt of dying, it's Harry Kim.
Actually.
Yeah, he already died once.
He's literally dead right now.
What's funny is that initially, before they decided who to kill off, he was supposed to die this episode. From what I've heard.
He was supposed to die like so many times, but then he got on like the cover of Time magazine or something, and
Yeah, no, I think
and
this
they were like,
episode
"Oh,
is what
Dang it,
predates
Jared,
that.
you're too sexy to die. God.
this scene is so well lit. I can see all their facial expressions."
This scene is so well lit. I can clearly see that this isn't that this is just a tiny set they kind of had to make under budgetary restraints.
So Harry potentially dying in Scorpion Part 2. I guess that's like Captain Picard or Patrick Stewart negotiating his contract for Best of Both Worlds. They hadn't decided yet. Have
Correct.
a nice break.
From what
This
I've
show
heard.
doesn't have consequences. It's fine.
This is why I love the Equinox episodes,
I
because you
thought
just see
Patrick
what
Stewart
hell.
had a 7-season contract.
Why do you love
Got a
Equinox
bunch of
episodes?
fairy lights on their chair.
TNG was going to go off the air after one.
Oh, it's the reason why I love Equinox so much, because you just see what hell the crew's been through.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like if Voyager had consequences.
Except not really, because they bring on the Equinox crew and merge them into Voyager, and then we never see them again.
That's because they get busted down to like plasma scrubbing forever.
Yeah. I don't even think Janeway gave him a rank.
Yeah, they became crewmen.
They became Neelix's underlings.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
they have to
favorite,
taste all
yes.
the Leola root dishes.
He sits them down on their, in the mess hall on their first day, and he's like, "Welcome to Team Neelix," and he like hands them their new uniforms, which are just like T-shirts that say Team Neelix on them. There's like a picture of Neelix's face on the back, and he's smiling. Like they're just so embarrassed they never show up on camera again.
So really what this is this is a species that's like an extreme biological species, whereas the Borg are the opposite. They're extremely technological.
Yeah.
So Tyranids.
The Protoss versus the Zerg.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeah.
Except they're evil Protoss, so the Tal'Darim versus the Zerg.
I thought the Protoss were already evil.
Kinda.
I mean, are
They
you
have,
evil if you only care about your own species?
They have purified a few human colonies, but to be fair, there were Zerg on the colonies. Zergling showed up, so they destroyed the planet. What's the problem? Just leave them. Let them die. Get out of there. What? We're just gonna beam back the skeleton?
It's like in Spider-Man 1, where he's like, "Out am I?" Except it's in reverse.
It's going to beam back a glass of milk from all the calcium.
My god, it's CGI! So this is where Harry's probably gonna die. He's gonna suffer for the back half of the episode in sickbay, and then they're gonna put a drape over him in part 2, so we don't see the actor's not there.
They were able to get him out right after Harry got slapped, but not immediately before Harry got slapped. Like, the alien was even closer that time.
How is Voyager alive? Those things destroyed a Borg cube in one shot.
They're probably specially designed against Borg cubes at this point.
Did they modify the Voyager warp sound effect there for when they were just kind of throwing it out?
I don't know.
So, from what we know from now on, is Cass wildly incorrect?
The weak will perish. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like fake Boothby, exactly.
I mean, that's the wait. Parachute is just like the week's whole thing. Like, duh.
It might sound like a soldier who's been injured and is angry.
Or maybe it's just a classical observation about nature, like, hey, you have to be strong in this situation to survive.
Yeah, he's like, maybe he's just trying to like give him affirmational message.
Oh
Or
no,
at
at
least-
this point they start trying to destroy humans pretty vociferously.
Put him out of his misery. Just kill him.
This is the third time a crewman has been transformed into something else.
Is he gonna start yelling about his favorite kind of pizza?
Or remember his mom.
God, now I'm picturing Harry's mom calling into the cabin to complain about her son being eaten.
And dead.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, Doctor.
Yeah. Come on, don't like potatoes
Bananas
have
have a
more
shit ton
DNA
of
than humans.
DNA. Am I thinking of the right thing?
A lot of things have more DNA than humans.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Was that right? Okay.
So we could actually weaponize Kim right now.
Just Give Kim to the Borg and see what happens.
No, like create darts that have this weird sort of alien bacteria or biomatter on the tip, and just watch the drone slowly discombobulate.
Oh, hey, that prop is
They
the
did
same thing that
surgery on
Beverly
a
grows her mold
nanoprobe.
samples in.
And was featured in Clue, yeah.
Yeah, why didn't the Borg think of any of this?
Because they can't access that information until they assimilate.
This is not only have the humans created something that the board can't, but like the humans' creation has created something that the board can't. Like this dude comes in a cereal box. There's, the Starfleet literally has
You
too
wouldn't
many of
download
them.
a doctor.
Would you? Yes. In this healthcare environment in the United States, I would download a doctor.
We have a healthcare environment? Oh, come on, don't be all tropey. Just show us the screen. Come on.
There you go, stop freaking out.
Oh, like the board on Stranger Things. Surprise, surprise. The higher dimension is full of monsters that want to eat you.
Lovecraft was right.
What are they saying, Cass?
What do they eat?
Is that what they're saying to themselves? They're just flying through thinking, ah, yes, I'm so glad I'm not alone in the universe anymore.
Or are they insinuating that they exterminated all of their life?
I think that's the assumption, yeah.
I love the idea that Stranger Things just ripped off Star Trek Voyager.
I wonder if the weak shall perish is what they just say to each other.
Like Kapla.
God, you might be right.
When they do like the group huddle,
It's
that's
like,
what they do when they.
because yeah, today is a good day to die isn't a threat. It's just the Klingon saying they're into it.
You think like the weak shall perish is like written on fake
Live,
calligraphy
laugh, love.
signs and like in fluidic space.
Alright guys, have a good weekend. See you later. The weak shall perish.
We shall perish, everyone. See you on Monday.
You know, I still have my crippling caffeine addiction. Yeah, the weak shall perish.
No, your son was very sick, and we did our best, but ultimately, the weak shall perish.
You get back on Monday and you're like, only the strong survived, I see.
They're like, you get back on Monday and you're like, oh man, that week perished. Now this is a whole nother week.
Their whole threatening system is just them looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to perish the weekend.
It's the 8472 equivalent of thank God it's Friday.
Gimli.
What?
But he's tall.
I mean, what do you think they did? Chopped off his knees?
No, that's a shadow Gimli.
You trying to do the Pluto thing again with us, Da Vinci?
Vinci, no, you're not stuck in the cave again.
have no memory of this scene.
I think this is just ecstasy he's talking about.
Is he high?
Yeah, no, he is definitely on something.
Well, if you think about it, if you have a daydream and you add elements to it, you are creating a world. And then once you forget about it, it's destroyed.
Let me just Google, was Da Vinci on drugs?
Coffee is what the
Unclear.
historians will tell you.
You know when you get like a smell and it takes you back to like a previous memory? That's basically time travel, right?
Nitric
Like,
acid.
for just a second, you're in that moment, and then you're back to the future, which is now. So, smell is time travel.
Okay. If you say so. This, I mean, I've never done ecstasy, but its name would imply it makes you, like, happy. He doesn't seem happy. He just seems depressed.
Can you imagine what a complete 180 it would be if the way out of this conflict was prayer? Then there's divine
In my
intervention.
Star Trek?
Yeah, in my Star
Well,
Trek.
that was the solution in Deep Space Nine, so I guess it would just be like that.
Yeah, but they don't have like actual wormhole gods. Well, I mean, 8472 did come out of a singularity, so maybe they are the gods.
Devil.
Oh, don't tell the Borg that. Fudge the numbers a little bit.
Just give him the hard sell.
Always be closing, Doctor.
Always beezing and doozing and never cheesing and choosing.
And Guinan told us the Borg never negotiate.
She's never seen them desperate before.
Dude, you're talking to Janeway. If they try, she could just self-destruct. It's fine. Oh my god, you're just gonna threaten to kill the Doctor? That's... Wow,
Won't
that's
come
cold.
to that, but just thought I'd let you know.
Can't hold a gun to your own crewman's head as a threat.
Surely the Borg, when she's saying these things, would be able to tell that she doesn't want to kill the Doctor. They may not be known for their social skills, but they can certainly tell when someone's lying if there's any like body language involved.
Well, first of all,
It's the Borg.
yes, the Borg. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not your dad here, Janeway. I'm not your ghost dad. But there's many, many, many ways this could go wrong.
If anything, we should be trying to ally with 8472 Janeway.
They're not going to stop with the Borg.
What does the fox get out of it in this story? Is it just altruism?
Yeah.
That scorpion's name, Albert Einstein.
Heisenberg, destroyer of worlds.
Little racist towards
Heisenberg,
scorpions.
destroyer of worlds.
Look, Chakotay, if we just try to go, they die. If you ally with the Borg, you only probably die. Could Voyager,
weird that
instead
I
of
would-
this, just go... Yes?
This should have been the onus for a mutiny.
We can't do that 2 episodes in a row.
I think that would have been actually very good to like be like, oh, a mutiny isn't going to happen, and then suddenly there is actually a reason for it, and it's happening for a totally different reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they didn't murder that whole species with the transwarp technology that later swore revenge and tried to kill them all with said transwarp technology, they maybe could have helped them out a bit.
They don't really know they exist yet, though.
Are you talking about the species from Dragon's Teeth?
No, the one where the guy builds the fake Voyager, like it's the fake ship that has the transwarp, but it's actually like
Conquest.
disguised
Ray
as
Wise?
his ship.
Is the name like Arcturus or something?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
could
it's
be like
called
a Latest or
the
something.
Dauntless, isn't it? Something like
Yeah,
that.
the Gauntlet. Yeah, which actually gets featured in Prodigy. Because Janeway actually names her second ship the Dauntless.
I thought it was a
He was just
perfect
so
name for the
nostalgic
ship.
for that
Like,
time people tried to murder her.
You know, the Dauntless was actually extremely prescient too, because Starfleet actually later did design the Dauntless class ship, and it
Mhm.
appeared in one of those background shots in Enterprise where they didn't want to think too hard about making new models.
Dauntless is a great name for a ship like that.
Yeah, it
Ooh, I
is.
like the lines on the planet. You can see the Borgification on it.
Like, I would have made a twin pair of ships called the Dauntless and Relentless and just made them Defiant class.
I see how many
Volunteers
Ds
for the
can we
first
get?
time?
Dauntless, Defiant, Daring, Diamond.
Excalibur.
And then you'll have all the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's-
don't give
they
them
already know that.
anything.
Oh. Plan B? I mean, this honestly sounds like a really good deal for the Borg, because, I mean, they don't care if they lose one Starfleet ship. They'll get them later anyway. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Well, then I want a pizza and a transwarp coil." I want to use your transwarp network to go to Earth. I know you can do that.
Yeah, this sounds laughable. Combine our resources.
We can combine our resources by
Just
assimilating
combine the
each other.
Doctor with a full quadrant natural resources. Like, let's just do that and see what happens.
Ah. The GM spent threat to introduce a new enemy. Got it.
Time to go? Time to leave?
Mm-hmm.
Borg, you wanna go somewhere else?
That's why you never send the captain over.
Yeah, it looks pretty effective. Wow, somehow Voyager itself didn't get hit. That was a very precise shot.
Hey guys.
Alright, so that was Scorpion Part 1. Hope everyone's ready for Part 2. Nice
I think
board
what Janeway did was kind of reckless, right? We don't even know if species 8472 is a bad guy or not, and we already agreed to like destroy them for the Borg.
Well, he did say the weak shall perish.
They try to murder the sexiest man on board, and they're called the weak
They
shall
tried to
perish
murder
thing.
Tuvok?
But that's
no.
Also 1 minute
Tuvok
queue.
is a Vulcan, not a human.
They live in a different realm. They're not. They don't mean to kill us.
What do you mean? They just destroyed a planet. That's not exactly subtle.
That's
not a
invaded
whoopsie.
their space. For all they know, we're just invading their home. And the Hornets' nests are just stabbing us too, attacking us too. The beavers.
Yeah, but
That does sound like something a
on-
Hornet would say. The weak shall perish. Sounds like a Hornet. Or a
The crew of the
Wasp.
Voyager don't even know that at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you agree to like destroy them for the Borg when they're actually? Because in my theory, species 8472 is good guys. Borg are the bad guys.
I don't think so. They want to destroy all
What I
matter.
think is everyone should press play in 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Cover the entire universe in like caramel.
Yeah, but that's only because we tried to get in their caramel. So don't try to get in my caramel, and I won't. But it was a good idea for Voyager. It's just, and I like how because we're basically swapping out Kess for 7 of 9, and they're not doing it in a very subtle way either.
We'll have Kess a little bit longer, but 7 we'll have in about 9 minutes.
Oh, she hasn't come out yet? Okay.
Almost. She's almost here. Of course, she is a little cyborgy for the moment.
Wait, how old is she actually?
Annika Hansen?
Yes, the character.
Oh.
She's like 8, right?
Yeah, she's like really young, but they put her in the maturation chambers.
No.
No.
She's aged 20 years. She was assimilated 20 years ago. That's when her parents were. So she's 26.
Okay. We have a specific timeline. She was born in 2350, and she was liberated by Voyager in 2374. So she's 24 years old.
Oh, thank God.
There was no maturation chamber involved. She aged naturally. Thank you.
Well, I mean, there could still be a maturation chamber. It's just she's also 24.
think she talks about the Borg maturation gene.
Wait, but now I see another source saying was born in 2344. So that'd make her 28. Which she does look more like 28 than 24.
She looks much more like 28. But
I think that's just the dead skin you're seeing.
Gotta go now, guys. See you next time.
Have a good day.
So Annika Hansen's birthday in 2344 was established in Picard.
There's a very interesting YouTube video out though saying that this is like a family trip that her parents took her on through the Delta Quadrant, family vacation. Probably the worst idea ever, but they were.
Yeah, the
weird
Hansens are
like that.
crazy.
Yeah. No, Magnus Hansen was a fucking psychopath.
And by the way, without Starfleet, like you want to be a scientist and you don't even have, you're not a part of Starfleet, you don't even have Starfleet's okay. You're just gonna sail into the Delta Quadrant with your preteen daughter.
Child.
Like the
It's
Hansons
fine.
were so
The Borg-
crazy. They were like too into dangerous exploration for Starfleet.
Yeah.
But her being assimilated by the Borg meant she became a really good singer because she got the vocal submodulator. So it was all worth it.
You know, I would have liked it as a character saying if that was something the Borg just couldn't or didn't take away from her.
The Borg are. So wait, are all the Borg just like great sopranos?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done a Borg musical number.
Can you imagine if, like, literally a choir sang to you about how you're going to be assimilated?
Yeah, I mean that would be so much cool. I mean the Borg transmission is kind of spooky.
Whenever
You
they
are
do the
my
"You will be assimilated," they should send
sunshine,
over a
my only
PDF. No singing.
sunshine.
They should
When
send
you're
over a
not
PDF of the
happy,
benefits package.
My skies are gray.
No.
Definitely.
Singing is banned.
Although,
Unless you have a Borg
Good
submodulator.
if you preyed on the mental health of certain species, you could actually just convince them to be assimilated for you.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
You're gonna be assimilated.
No.
Individuality
Be silent and keep your forked tongue
eradicated.
behind your teeth.
But a very depressing story actually for 7. Oh, one thing I realized, the process of unassimilating her reminds me of some kind of junkie getting off the heroin or whatever. But it's like you have to.
Is the
Yeah, I
junkie
was
Rick
actually
Berman?
thinking that. Yes.
But you know, because she even brings up at one point, look, if I want to rejoin the collective, you can't. And you know, it reminded me of actually. So when an ambulance arrives, and somebody's like dying of like heroin overdose, if that person's conscious and says, "I don't want medical treatment," the EMT cannot take him or her to the hospital. So medical consent is like a big ethics deal, which Janeway violates in this episode. But let me forget
Oh,
about
definitely.
that.
Like, here's the thing. If they weren't in the Delta Quadrant and managed to collect all this scientific data for Starfleet, she would be arrested.
Yeah. Although Hugh was kind of like a experiment.
We're going to assimilate
but
Harry.
But did you think Picard actually said, "Hey, I got my hands on a Borg and I didn't like utilize that"?
Yeah. But see, that's the thing though. Here, the only way 7 survives the assimilation is because Kes dissolves a Borg neural implant in the middle of her brain, and so we're not able to save anybody else from assimilation except for Hugh and Locutus.
Okay, so this is where Harry won the sexiest man contest or whatever. Because he didn't show up at all last episode after his weird assimilation biologically.
No.
And brag
Now they
about this
immediately cure. That means Jennifer. Jennifer's
TNT.
days are numbered, and more than just an Ocampan. More than they're usually numbered.
She becomes a guardian.
Jen?
No, I mean, Kes becomes a traveler, basically, right?
Kinda. Until Fury.
Well, Jean Grey is actually the motif for Cass.
Oh, definitely.
Like, you're too dangerous to kiss. And I also have to say though, Voyager was addressing the issue of AI in very unique and creative ways. Somehow I missed this whole batch of episodes because probably it was very early on. But they do great stuff on these themes.
He is a very independent 3-year-old.
Well, she's past her
Look,
terrible twos, so it's all good. Though she is going to cease to exist next episode.
The gift, yeah.
It's pronounced the gift.
It's my favorite episode because it's when we discover the level beyond the subatomic. Because right now all we got is a subatomic.
But subatomic literally encapsulates everything smaller than atomic by definition.
It's Star Trek.
But beyond quarks, though, what are quarks made up of? That's what's beyond the subatomic.
They make bars in the alpha quadrant that can link to the gamma.
No, I'm talking about up to quarks, down quarks, charm quarks, strange quarks.
I don't know what quarks are made of, but I know you can separate them into thousands of desiccated disks.
52.
Is it only 52? I guess
think
quark
so.
wasn't that big.
It was like a very limited number of slices.
Which, I mean, okay. Only 52?
I mean,
Yeah, I would
it's
hope
got to
there'd
be
be
at least
more.
like a quarter size or like a $50 size.
Do you think that, and this is going to sound really morbid, that they just grind up the body a la
Oh my God.
hamburger and put it in the disc?
Very much.
I can't sing, but they're allowed to talk about grinding up people.
Ma,
What
the
I
Borg
like
just
about-
want to help. They just want to talk to you.
One good piece of writing is that because Chakotay has a Borg neural transmitter from like 2 episodes ago or 2 weeks ago, that comes in handy here because that's needed to like take away 7 from the
Collective.
yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of the rescue romance, so despite the fact that it was suddenly sprung upon me, I could actually kind of see it.
Another name drop. Well, actually, Janeway, you will be assimilated. Just later.
Yeah, in Endgame.
And that was a crazy idea. That was weird.
Do they not get assimilated even before that? Because they get like on a ship.
I don't know
They
what's
literally get assimilated, but they have like something in their system that stops them becoming full Borg.
Look who it is.
I don't know what's the big deal because
Hey,
having a little neural transmitter in your brain is not being assimilated. She's such
Even
a
her-
strong.
Now,
Even
granted,
her
they
Borg
probably
armor is
Hey.
more tight-fitting than the other drones.
Yeah, but yeah, but
Yeah.
okay, it does, but like it also looks cooler than her cat suits.
Yeah, but that's heavy. The makeup is uncomfortable. Like, by the way, she does an incredible job. She's so young,
hey.
and she conveys all of the emotions necessary. Like, the character of Seven was born very mature. It doesn't evolve much beyond this scene.
What do you mean? She starts telling jokes later.
No, but she's like inadequate, irrelevant.
Insufficient.
Take off your clothes.
That's because she's a Borg and they have a way of talking. It's nothing to do with that particular character's maturity.
I still think that she should have been either been paired officially with Chakotay or Kim very early on.
How
Oh,
come
the
7 of 9
potential
doesn't
was
make
there.
the, like, hydraulic sounds as she walks around?
She tells Kim to take off his clothes. So
Yeah, but
Kim
that
was
was
just
like,
a bit intimidated.
no, but think about it, like they kind of complement each other. Like He's social, but I mean, he's
Lacks confidence.
correct, and she's all confidence but lacks like Starfleet ingenuity.
Yeah.
It's either that or Barclay.
Barclay, oh, it'd be so awkward.
It would, and they would actually fit together.
I think you should be a writer for Star Trek Picard, but
Oh no, I can't touch that. That dog is
It's your
dying.
time on that show. Yeah.
I'm on the side of species 8472. Let
Same.
me just do that.
Yeah, we know.
They're
So
cool.
you believe the weak shall perish?
No, I don't. I just believe that fluidic space is cooler than this thing that we live in.
You don't know what temperature is.
I want to
mean,
swim.
that's just that's just an objective fact. Do we know that there's malice behind that statement?
We know what temperature Borg cubes are. It's explicitly canonized in First Contact.
Yeah, and
Is fluidic space cooler than that?
Probably. Borg cubes are hot.
Yeah, and that's just Minnesota during the summer.
Hey, the summer's not too. We're cooling down a bit.
I mean, as of last week, but like.
Wow, this has got to
Yeah,
be so
I
lame
get
for the
the,
Borg. They have to like slow down to a light jog compared to Voyager.
Oh my
Fluidic
god.
space is going to need to be like probably quite a balmy temperature so that you can get through that fluid without it being too viscous.
Can you imagine if they just kept getting inundated with messages saying, "Can we just bring you into our cargo bay? Can we just bring you into our cargo bay?"
Oh, and by the way, the species 8472 is what triggers Kes to be Jean Grey. So, she would have just
Species 8472 booted her from the show.
But
I think that. Sorry.
they caused the physiological development of the Ocampan like race or whatever. Like, I mean, whatever.
I mean, it's there in our body already. It just wasn't tapped into.
Yeah, it's like a weight trainer.
Or like Vulcans, if they don't mind meld, they don't really know about it or use it.
I mean, they know at this point that she's got psychic abilities, don't they?
Yeah, but she can tear apart the fabric of space with her thoughts, right? So
He's not taught
No.
that until the Ocampans that come from the other, what do you call them? The other stone alien meets them, and that guy teaches her how to do it.
Wait, are we talking about like the
The episode
Excalibur?
where she turns Tuvok's blood into like gasoline or whatever.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the episode with Abe Lincoln in TOS.
What does Abe Lincoln need with the starship?
But what about Kim?
Who cares about Kim?
So just a note, season 3 was when Best of Both Worlds was, right? For TNG.
Yeah,
So
season 3 and 4.
Yeah, so the 2-season cliffhanger Borg related. And so it's kind of cool that we get this. Because naturally 2-part episodes have a bigger budget. They're more cinematic. You get a movie almost for 2 hours. It's like the highlight of my childhood to have like a 2-part Star Trek episode. Next week.
I don't know like how intentional it was, but every scene that she's in, like 7 of 9, her pupils are like her whole eye. It's a bit weird.
That's because being a Borg drone is euphoric.
Hold on. I need to see that when next time she pops up.
I don't think it's like that when she's on the ship.
I just wish, while in the one episode she was a Borg, they went full Borg. Hydraulic sounds, mechanical processing on the voice,
Oh yeah.
bulky suit, and wires and everything.
Yeah, that would have been good.
It definitely would have like been a greater shock for the guests, saying, "Oh my God, she's actually being brought aboard."
Because clearly the way they've done it here is she's special in some way. She's just a lady in a suit.
Hey, call me crazy, but imagine if she was just all metal, but all you saw was like the nose and lower jaw.
Oh, that's a good strategy.
Surely
Wait, if our weapons can't hurt them, don't we have millions of cubes? Just start ramming them. Screw it.
Yeah. Literally, you don't even have to have the drones aboard. You can literally just ram them.
You just have like thousands of cubes running at singularities, just crashing into everything.
Mm-hmm. And then during a lull, you could create a wall around the singularity, like a Dyson sphere. So it just runs into repeated walls of whatever you have the cubes made out of.
They just jam the singularity. That's wow, they work fast.
Yeah, they work super fast.
Where did they get the metal? And the tubing?
Nano. Paris.
Now they can only travel like warp 9.8. Ugh.
Lame. It's only the fastest ship in Starfleet.
At least until the Prometheus.
I thought this was faster than the Prometheus, because the Prometheus had to do all this.
No, Prometheus is
stuff.
like Prometheus is like 9.99.
How could our good guys work with the Borg?
Short-sightedness, nepotism,
Coercion.
Nepotism.
This isn't true to Gene Roddenberry's vision of Star Trek.
I mean,
if this
Gene
were
had
true to
his way,
Gene Roddenberry's vision, it would be a disaster.
it would.
Well,
Gene
I mean,
Roddenberry was crazy.
It's true though. 709 was cast for the same reason as Deanna Troi was. So
it's okay. They accidentally got an amazing actress. It all worked out.
Yes, it did work.
And inadvertently affected American politicians, but that's a story for another day.
Well, we've had that story a few times.
We did.
And I just like to point out once again that Star Trek got a space shuttle named after itself. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep, in the 70s there was a write-in campaign, and Gerald Ford agreed, and NASA agreed to name the.
And then the popularity of flip phones.
Oh, are we gonna save Janeway with Borg nanoprobes? That's what it feels like.
It's funny because the prior episode was about Maquis taking over the ship, and now we're gonna have a Maquis taking over the ship.
The Maquis are gonna take over the ship while the Borg attempt to take over the ship. Everybody's trying to take over Voyager. That's why Janeway has to be in sickbay severely injured, because if she was still in command, she'd blow it up. Meanwhile, Chakotay uses my favorite strategy in sci-fi of just opening the doors. It works great.
I mean, as messed up as this sounds, I think Chakotay should have been the security officer and Tuvok should have been the second command.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it is politically dicey as far as Maquis integration goes.
I mean, it is, but
True.
based on what we're seeing right now, Chakotay could have saved so many lives.
Really?
Yeah, basically like having the environment do the work for you.
What do you mean?
Opening the cargo bay doors instead of just, having a security team run in.
Well, you can't go through a transwarp conduit now. It's gonna take forever.
Did they ever bring up the fact that the Voyager helped the Borg not lose a war? That seems like that
Oh
should
yeah,
have.
They bring
one
it up
guy, Ray
later.
Wise, is gonna come on and like desperately try to
Okay,
kill
good.
Janeway for saving the Borg.
She's gonna get really freaking chewed out by Picard when she gets back.
Except he
Yeah.
can't because Janeway becomes his boss. Becomes Admiral Janeway.
Oh, Picard becomes Admiral Picard.
Yeah, but way
Eventually,
later.
but yeah.
Janeway's in Nemesis.
What?
Yeah.
Do you not remember Janeway in Nemesis?
She has one scene where
That's
she's
how we know she's an admiral.
He's like
Picard's
on the TV.
Yeah.
on his little laptop that slides out of the desk. And Picard makes the joke, some captains get all the easy assignments.
Excuse me, Chakotay, that female drone has a name, 7 of 9, Tertiary Adjunct of Unimatrix 01.
Oh, there's 7 of 9.
7
Of course,
for
the
short.
primary adjunct of Unimatrix 01 is Vaughn Armstrong. It's Admiral Forrest. Meet him later. Yes! Open the doors!
Mark.
Why does 7 seem angry here?
She hates us. And also, Chakotay threatened to space her entire crew.
It's like 4 drones, and who cares? They're just drones. They're not people. I just think 7 has too much individuality while she's a Borg.
Yeah.
She
doesn't feel quite the same as Hugh.
She said, make someone like Locutus. So she has the leadership to control the cubes. But you're right. Like, even when they came out with the Borg Queen, they're like canonically, there's no provision for any kind of single person leadership in the collective. So that was like a violation of everything.
I don't think it's that it's used directing the cube, it's that she feeds it information and then a collective decision is made.
You're more than just my captain. I built you a bath. I gave you a massage. Yeah, 7 can't date Chakotay because Chakotay has to date Janeway. So 7 could get with Kim, or the Doctor, or just nobody. She could just be her. It's fine.
It could have been Kess.
It's a really low number for that number of planets.
Yeah, but it's just the beginning of the battle, so
Why do they need to go into the alien realm?
floating space.
To blow them
Sweet.
up. Bring the war to them.
This is like the worst ship to send into fluidic space. Just saying.
Oh, it's really aerodynamic. It's got variable geometry.
So there's subspace and there's fluidic space.
They
Oh,
don't really
hey,
know.
7 of 9's going to be in this same Jeffries tube at that same panel later on.
And this is a
Thanks,
CGI
Seth.
Voyager. You can see how 90s it is. It looks like a CD-ROM game.
Come on, Chakotay, space them. You said you were going to space them.
Yay!
I thought we didn't space anyone in Star Trek, but here we go.
We've done it like twice over all of the series.
All right.
Lore.
What was the other time?
Also, it's also
Lore.
been done to our heroes at least
Oh, yeah.
once,
4 times.
or at least attempted.
We
No,
spaced Scott
it's been done
Bakula.
to Lore.
Lore. We spaced Lore. They spaced
And
some people in
Discovery.
Discovery, or try to anyway.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Harry
Well-
Kim, if that counts.
I was thinking up to
They
this
truly
time.
space
yeah.
Harry Kim. That's an accident, though.
The Doctor, one time.
Yeah, I mean, technically, when the Borg take like a slice of the Enterprise D out, like a cone section of all the deck, there were like people.
It
like-
happens occasionally that people are spaced on accident because, like, the hole was blown out. But they rarely
Yeah,
use
that's
opening the
different.
doors as a weapon in itself.
or as a
Yeah.
punishment or something. Yeah.
Which is anyone who's played FTL can tell you is.
Oh, remember Ducat
Quite
was
the,
gonna space the girl he
error.
impregnated
Yeah.
and like Kira finds him.
Oh.
Yeah, at the airlock. That's what airlocks are for.
It's okay, he didn't space her, he just opened the door a little bit so she would suffocate.
Which is worse, in my opinion. Because that way you have the illusion of safety.
But and then in Picard, we had the whole Borg cube, which all the drones are sucked out into space.
Mhm.
Which is just like a big version of this thing.
I do like the little
Oh.
details where Tuvok leaves the station and someone else immediately comes to take over. They don't talk
Yeah.
about it, it's just detail.
There's someone who's
why-
dedicated. Like, there's a small team of like relief officers who just sort of sit in the back.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, they're on the bench.
Wait, is that why 7 almost lost it when the Romulans did that?
They did what? When the Romulans did what?
The Romulans spaced the Borg.
Oh. Yeah, not too happy.
she's really upset when that happened because that happened to her.
God, you sound just like my ex-girlfriend.
What?
I'm making
you-
a joke how he dated. I'm making a joke how he dated a Cardassian.
Dated a Cardassian? Ew.
That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with Species 847. They're just like way too advanced for us.
Yeah.
And later we have the Omega particle plot, right? Which is also involving Species 847 too.
No. That's that's something else. Where basically
the Omega
Starfleet.
directive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Starfleet destroys the civilization to prevent it?
Correct. They literally allow a civilization to die out because they found out omega particles before warp travel.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, no, she's fine.
Omega
Okay.
particles? Or mega particles?
I just saw from a YouTube short video. So omega, there's two kinds of O's in ancient Greek. And so one is omega, the big O, and the other is omicron, the little O.
Mhm.
But we don't think about it like that way.
No one cares.
I mean, I do.
Not anymore.
I'm sorry, you broke up a little, Argon. No one cares anymore.
There's no members of the Omicron Club.
And so actually, because this is only season 3, right? Like most of us have seen 7 seasons of this.
Mhm.
Like here, like there's actual friction between the two of them because it's like, hey, can I trust you to carry out my orders or what? And they've only been through 2-3 seasons together. And here, like you see how their personalities are different. Like Chakotay wouldn't trust the Borg for a second. And Janeway's like, well, I signed it. It was your job to enforce it.
Yeah,
Janeway's
but
still
like
trying to commit
This is the-
suicide.
Yeah. I mean,
This is
I'm
the point
100%.
where Chakotay's character development stops.
It is. Like he was. What's sad is that he was 100% right on this situation.
Yeah. He is right though, because like the Borg break the agreement like a second later.
Mm-hmm.
Much like the Molotov-Ribbentrop agreement between the Nazis and Soviet Union, they both had no intentions of keeping that agreement.
Absolutely
Molotov.
none.
Would a Molotov work against the Borg?
He was the Russian defense minister who signed the treaty.
No, not a
And-
guy named Molotov. Would a Molotov cocktail work against the Borg?
Yeah, named after the same guy.
Exactly.
They just don't want to answer the question.
Why don't you guys want to
don't-
burn the Borg?
Bullets don't work. What
Yes,
if
they do.
And I think they can survive the vacuum of space. I think they could survive up to plasma.
Especially bullets out of a Tommy gun.
A Tommy gun with infinite ammo.
Yeah,
Hold
and
on,
big screams.
I need to do a little bit of consideration about the maximal temperature of a Molotov cocktail.
Please. Educate us. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So, just the idea of Molotov cocktails seemed like a lot of fun to me.
Are you sure you're not
That's-
a watch list?
Yeah, that sounds something the FBI would be interested in.
No, it's just a fun part of history. Post-World War II decolonization and partition.
Not part of history. It's still happening now.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, so, all this changes that companies colonize instead of nations,
facts. But, did you find out that maximum temperature? Minnesota?
I literally just looked and it said indeterminate
Okay.
Cool.
due to
You mean no one's ever done a scientific study on the maximum temperature of a Molotov cocktail?
well because
Wouldn't it
there's so
also
many
depend on the alcoholic beverage used to create the cocktail?
Yeah.
correct and the object, so you would have to look into the individual substance that's being put into the cocktail.
Okay, you get a bottle,
Is there a way we can
fill it
simulate
with
this?
vodka.
I
Like,
imagine
since-
I imagine
like
it-
we know the chemical composition of alcohol, and how fast how hot that burns, and we know a lot about water.
But what do you
You
imagine?
say that
nothing above 1,000.
Okay.
I'm
would you
guessing
say
the
that water is our most studied chemical compound? Or
I'm gonna say
maybe
700 to
something else?
800 max.
Maybe gold. We like gold, don't we?
So good to have Dano
Alchemists.
back on the bridge. Oh, look, Cass is here. Indiana Troy's chair.
Oh wow.
God, once we have these new torpedoes loaded and start just blowing up these ships, can we send them the message, the weak shall perish? See how they like it.
So I took a quick look, and it turns out that like if you just burn like
Hey, there we go.
pure alcohol, you'll get like
Galaxy's impure. It's going to be purged.
I think it's in the thousands.
It's more combustible, but it evaporates really fast too. So you don't want it that pure. It'll evaporate so fast by the time you throw it.
So are you still on their side? The galaxy will be purged. It's impure.
Are they actually
mhm.
defending themselves because of how weak their cellular bonds are between their own systems?
Look, the Borg attacked them first, and now we have a Borg on our ship, and we're invading their space. So, we're the hornet in the bee's nest. Okay, they're gonna vibrate all over us and heat us to death.
He's got a point. Dickman's got a point.
There's nothing wrong with species 8472. I fail to see.
Like
You fail to
we're
see
should've-
how them
we
purging the
should have made
galaxy is
friends with-
bad.
We should have made friends with them to destroy the Borg. Instead, we're making friends with the Borg to destroy them.
here's the thing. Legally speaking, they're just abiding by castle doctrine.
Yeah. Change your
Are you
ground.
calling fluidic space Florida?
Yes.
The whole galaxy is a
847 too,
swamp.
man. So why isn't fluidic space spilling into space?
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
What does fluidic space taste like?
Meat.
Is it like jello? Does it taste very pure because they've purified fluidic space?
Well, they said it's organic, so I imagine it's kind of like a protein.
Oof.
So maybe like a portobello fungus.
I
That's
don't
really funny.
understand how Voyager is still in one piece after they've been shot twice by the Borg killing weapons.
Exactly.
Those are not Borg.
Turn down the intensity so they don't damage fluidic space.
But they're not in fluidic space now.
It probably tastes like miso soup.
So
And then-
is fluidic space literally full of a fluid?
Yes.
It's called that.
Yes.
It's like what?
It's
what
brownish
does
swamp
fluidic
water.
It's
Like,
literally
it's fluid
protein
water.
space
liquid.
taste like?
It's protein liquid, so I assume some sort of soup.
And somebody Stoops pointed out in YouTube chat, aren't they on negative torpedoes remaining at this point?
Correct.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they realized that as a plot device, it would make the show less interesting if they had to constantly be like building stuff and like, having adventures. So what they did instead was they shoot spheres at cubes, and that's more fun.
It's fluidic space
Wow, what a
vegetarian.
twist. The Borg turned on them. Who could have seen this coming?
What? Hitler's invading Soviet Russia?
Determined to drag it back to that, aren't you?
But we had an agreement.
I thought
is
we
like
were
having a group-
cool.
This is like the DMZ all over again.
No, actually, Argos, that piece of history is like very, very contentious because Russia will always celebrate its victory over the Nazis and how Russia lost more troops than anyone else fighting Nazi Germany. But it's quite likely if they never signed that agreement, Hitler would not have been emboldened to attack Western Europe, knowing that his Eastern Front was free.
The doctor just said his link is stable, but it won't be for long. Surely that means it's not stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Chakotay saves
metastable.
Annika. It's like, remember when you were a little girl and you were all sweet and innocent?
I can kind of see a basis of a romance here if they said, hey, they started shacking up around this point.
I never saw it before, but that scene when he threatens to space her people for the first time, she's definitely like impressed by his power.
It is.
She like almost kisses him in that scene.
Well, I mean, like, who wants to talk first about that?
Man, they both have a short circuit. which is a digital climax.
Do you know what I would have loved to hear from the crewmen? If they referred
Whoa.
to Seven as a drone exclusively,
It'd be
like
very
they
rude.
didn't. It would be, but they didn't refer to 709 as her until the Annika Hansen aspect started reasserting itself.
Yeah, they had to give her a name. And I think in the plot in the screenplay, she was just the drone.
Hmm.
I remember it just took a lot more time to like eliminate all the Borg.
But this is so much better than the governess. I got so sick of those children.
Yeah, it was.
She's a
That was
scientist.
a weird moment in,
Let her do science,
where they
please.
didn't really know what the deal was with Janeway's character, and so she switched from being like Mary Poppins, which
She's the
Which
name.
shit?
super
No, 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 no,
They,
no.
they never showed us what was in the attic. They left us hanging. They never finished the holo program.
Okay,
No,
I have a
and-
question.
Sorry, but one of the things she bonds with Seven over later is the science, So she's such a quintessential scientist. This is a great place for her.
So I have a
What's the
question
question?
regarding Janeway's characterization.
Yes.
Is she just completely asexual, as in I like science and garlic bread? Or
She had a boyfriend and a
She had
dog.
a
She
husband
deleted the
or
wife.
something? Oh, she was about to get married, right?
Or do you think she's just ADD where she says, ooh, the shiny science?
Yeah,
Like Picard though, look, she's all about the job. She's not
she's
gonna fall in
impulsive
love
enough
with
to be
someone.
ADD.
Yeah, she's not
He's
gonna
not
fall in love with someone
asexual. It's
who
just the
doesn't-
science is more important.
the job.
What are you gonna do when you're the captain? You need to make your
Holo.
hierarchy stay,
Holo
don't you? So
boyfriend.
And television being what it was, like you could sexualize a man a little bit, like Picard could go to Ryza, but I don't think if this was an Alpha Quadrant show, she'd be going to Ryza too much.
Well, she'd
Like-
try and do the Ryza thing where you go to Ryza and then you just do science there instead of having sex like a normal person.
Like
No, I don't-
she does an epigenetic examination of what STDs who gets what.
If
She
this were
does,
Alpha
she does
Quadrant,
the-
Janeway would have at least 2 episodes where she got kidnapped on the way to a conference.
Yeah. But she would be doing the analysis of the pheromones of Jamaharon.
Yeah, she'd do an analysis of all of the STDs people
Wait.
have on Ryza.
Wait, that actually sounds familiar. Is that what Dax died of?
Maharon?
Curzon Dax did, yeah. Not
I wish.
Jadzia Dax. Gul Dukat did not do Jamaharon with
No,
Jadzia.
no. No,
You
no,
don't know what that felt like, to be fair.
no, not Curzon.
Yeah, he died of Jamaharon.
God.
What a legend.
Anyway, so that was 7 of
Absolutely.
9.
During the surgery. Was he doing it during the surgery?
Yeah, don't worry about
I
that.
think he just finished.
I think that was just a retcon. Don't worry about it.
Like he brought in his freaking future self? Just it's like a stand. Just,
It's a handover procedure.
I
you
imagine
don't
most
understand.
likely he had like a heart
Stand
attack
there.
during Jamaharon, and then they went into surgery then.
Okay, wait, what's really funny about heart attacks is that you can have like a minor one, be fine for like a few hours, and have like a really bad one.
Mhm.
So I think he literally just pulled up the hyperspace cell phone and said, hey, listen, bring up the secondary one because I'm not stopping.
I love the idea. He freaking in preparations for his death, he just has like a freaking. It's like,
Go out with a bang.
yeah, he goes out with several bangs, and he just has the surgical team on standby. Can you imagine?
Yeah, they're just
being
like drinking
Jet
and
B in
lounging
that
outside.
situation, and you're like, oh boy, I get this symbiote, this one. Good grief.
Anyway,
So
next
do
week's
you-
episodes are the gift, where we're gonna ditch Cass. She's gone next episode.
Woo!
Day
We
of
go beyond the
Honor, where
subatomic.
Torres has childhood trauma or some kind of trauma that she has to confront.
She does her rite of confirmation.
And then Nemesis, where Chakotay gets gaslighted into committing genocide.
And
What?
they never make the parallels between Maquis indoctrination and this indoctrination, and that was such a missed opportunity.
If you want to find out what lies beyond the subatomic, tune in next week.
Hey, Chakotay does a genocide?
So
Yeah, it is a little bit of a
is-
genocide.
A little bit.
A devious genocide.
What do
It's
you mean
the
a little
episode where
bit of
he
a
gets
genocide?
brainwashed
Those
by
wars don't
species
go-
into fighting a fake war. Well, it's a real war, but it's a
Yeah.
different war than he thinks it is.
Like, okay, so imagine if you were brainwashed into fighting for the Confederacy.
Hmm.
Anyway, so that's next week. This stream's over though, so you guys can just like go somewhere else, I guess.
Thanks,
Alright.
man.
Bye.
Go do your own stuff.